God says in the Holy Quran, "The first house of worship appointed for men was that at Mecca, full of blessing and of guidance for all kinds of beings. In it are signs manifest, for example, the station of Abraham. Whoever enters it attains security. Pilgrimage thereto is a duty men owe to Allah, those who can afford the journey." God has honored mankind by giving them the holy shrine house in Mecca, of which Prophets Ibrahim and his son Ismail laid the foundations and raised its walls. Since that time, people have come from afar to do the pilgrimage, bearing enormous difficulties. God also has made the pilgrimage the fifth pillar of Islam, and therefore a religious duty on Muslims. Since that time, Muslims have come from every part of the globe to perform the pilgrimage, following in the footsteps and traditions of their Prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him. The number of pilgrims has increased year after year. Their total number now stands in millions. And so this requires that solutions have to be found for their movements and flow while performing various pilgrimage rites, which are unique images found nowhere else in the world. The government of the custodian of the two holy mosques has strived hard to find solutions, to build infrastructure and provide services for the pilgrims' security, safety, and convenience. The custodian of the two holy mosques, King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz, takes special interest in the development of the two holy mosques. He directs government agencies to provide more infrastructure and assets that can make it easier for pilgrims to perform their worship with greater convenience and comfort. And because that is King Abdullah's first priority, the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs has initiated many projects which were carefully studied and extensively analyzed with all organizations involved in the pilgrimage activities. These development projects take into consideration expected increase in the number of pilgrims so that their needs can be met in the short and long terms. For the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs to accomplish its tasks systematically under the direction of His Royal Highness the Minister of Municipal and Rural Affairs, the Central Directorate for the Development of Projects is busily engaged all year round in workshops and meetings, analyzing, studying, and discussing the design, implementation, and management of development projects in the holy places. These efforts are characterized by transparency, seriousness, and utmost diligence. Lessons from past pilgrimage events are studied to improve performance in future pilgrimage seasons. Solutions are realistic, future-oriented, and draw on international expertise. Yet, compliance with worldwide Muslims' aspirations and traditions are emphasized. Throughout the year, activities at the Central Directorate for the Development of Projects of the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs never stop. A long list of development projects are pursued with dedication. A large number of them have been accomplished, and works continue day and night to achieve the rest. At the same time, new projects are being initiated. for which the kingdom is allocating huge budgets. Government officials give to these projects great dedication and concern. A look at the holy sites in the past and comparing them to what they look today will reveal the tremendous efforts involved and accomplishments made. The new Jamarat complex is the top of gigantic projects that is completed this year in its final phase. The project now consists of a floor in the underground level. It is linked with the northern and southern tunnels and will facilitate evacuation and emergency services, stoning by delegations and the handicapped. It separates pedestrian and vehicular traffic. The ground floor has oval-shaped basins of 40 meters in length and 14 meters in width. It can be reached from the eastern side through several entrances. The first floor is accessed from Mina direction through two ramps, one in the north and the other in the south. The ground floor can be clearly seen. Each of the two floors serves the eastern side of Mina. The second floor of the new Jamarat structure, or the third level, allows pilgrims to enter from the direction of Mina city, the western side, through two ramps. The first one, northwestern, serving the western direction for pilgrims coming from Shisha and Al-Adl. The second one, southwestern. The two ramps are linked to two bus stations that serve two shuttle lines to support use of this floor from other directions. The third floor, or the fourth level, is for the use of pilgrims coming from the north through a ramp at Mina direction. It starts from King Fahd Road to serve those coming from Ash-Shaibin and Al-Maisim. Also, this fourth level can be reached through another ramp at Majar al-Kabsh direction. This is in addition to four buildings containing escalators and stairways located on King Fahd Street at the Eastern Plaza. Exiting from this floor is done through 7 similar towers at the western side, which contains escalators and stairways. The fourth floor, or the fifth level, can be reached from the southern direction through an entrance and an exit at Rabwat al-Hadarim on King Abdulaziz Street. It is evident that crowd density has been reduced by having the project distribute pilgrims to 4 directions using different means and levels. It is worth mentioning that the new Jamarat complex has undergone several implementation phases. The preliminary phase was completed before the pilgrimage of 1426. Works of the first phase were completed before the 1427 pilgrimage. The pilgrimage of 1428 witnessed the completion of the second phase. And before the 1429 pilgrimage, the third phase works were accomplished. Viewers can now see how easier stoning has become after the completion of each phase. It is now more orderly and safer. The frightening and tragic incidents which were associated with stoning at Jamarat are now old histories. The pilgrimage of this year will witness the completion of the fourth phase, which is the last of the new Jamarat facilities project and the surrounding areas. The project has achieved a qualitative transformation by making it easier for pilgrims to do the stoning ritual and facilitating their movements in and out of the Jamarat complex. Other benefits include organizing pilgrims' movements, providing quick emergency services, prevention of crowding and stampedes that used to take place in the past pilgrimage seasons. Catastrophic incidents at Jamarat are going to be something of the past, God willing. For the new Jamarat facilities to perfectly realize their objectives, a number of support services have been initiated. These include a live TV transmission to the guidance boards and TV monitors at pilgrims' camps or wherever else they may be. The new Jamarat project has a control room equipped with many monitors, computers and software. They are connected with more than 600 cameras installed in an area from the end of Muzdalifah to the end of the Western Plaza, including the streets, roads, all the Jamarat floors and ramps. The control room is manned by public security personnel and representatives of other agencies. They all monitor pilgrims' movements and are ready to intervene to reduce crowding and change the schedule for pilgrim stoning, if necessary, for the safety and convenience of pilgrims. In order to allow pilgrims to fully benefit from the new Jamarat project, the Central Administration for the Development Projects produced an awareness video which shows the entry and exit points of Jamarat, how to reach them, and warns about hazards, and gives directions to pilgrims about organizing their movements and how they can get the best results. The program for monitoring and enforcing the time schedules for sending pilgrims to Jamarat, which is carried out by the Central Directorate for the Development of Projects in coordination with the Ministry of Hajj, contributes to reducing the crowding density of pilgrims' movements in the streets, plazas, and the Jamarat complex. Density should be within the allowable range set for congregations on roads and in the Grand Mosque. There are 16 monitoring centers to observe pilgrims when they come out to the Jamarat plazas. The centers work round the clock to check the degree of compliance with the time schedules of sending pilgrims to Jamarat. The pilgrimage of 1430 will witness a new gigantic addition in which work started at the beginning of this Hijri year. It involves the construction of the southern line of the Holy Sites Railway project. It is designed partially to replace vehicular transportation by providing rail services between Arafat, Muzdalifah, and Mina. The project execution will take 2 years, and its first phase will be completed for the pilgrimage of 1431, with a capacity of 25,000 pilgrims per hour. By 1432, the rail project will have a maximum capacity of carrying 70,000 pilgrims per hour. The Holy Sites Railway track is located at the southern sides of Arafat, Muzdalifah, and Mina areas. It is designed to have a capacity of transporting 72,000 pilgrims per hour on a one-way elevated track that runs about 20 kilometers. The project has 9 railway stations distributed to Mina, Muzdalifah, and Arafat, 3 stations for each. The walking distance to each station is not more than 300 meters maximum.